And there I was. I was the girl from Suits.
This one's wife. Rejoice, there's more. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Oh God, it's raining, but I'm not complaining. It's filling me up with new life. The stars in the sky bring tears to my eyes. They're lighting my way tonight. And I haven't felt so alive in years. A short burst there of But Not Tonight from Depeche Mode, the greatest band in the world, which comes from 1986. What might be the source of such joy? The fact that even though it's raining, one's not complaining and one's being filled up with new life. The fact that stars in the sky are bringing tears to one's eyes. Well, what could it be? Well, I bring news. Great news. It's the summer of rosé for this one's wife. The Duchess has just announced, yippee, that a new vintage of her As Ever rosé wine will go on sale from next week. Yes! Uncorking ecstasy once again. You too can go along to a website and pay far too much money for a shitty wine. But it's a new vintage. How exciting. How wonderful. As you know, this one's wife has been rather quiet as of late. But what she has been doing is continuing to post, or somebody on her behalf has been posting each and every day on As Ever, treating people to the delightful sight of awful food covered in flour sprinkles, alongside repeated postings of As Ever wine. And there was an announcement on this one's wife's As Ever site telling people that more wine is on the way. It was delivered alongside an image of the wine being served on a beach. Oh, how we love seeing the world through rose-coloured glasses. The message on As Ever's Instagram post read, rose-coloured glasses, perhaps even better. Our new vintage of As Ever's beloved rosé is available next week. More information was also in the As Ever newsletter, revealing that the new wine is a 2024 Napa Valley Rosé. It follows the release of the 2023 vintage at the start of July, which quickly sold out. And this news has been conveyed by Victoria Murphy, writing for Town and Country, which, as you know, is one of the PR puff pieces supine publications that frequently pump out this pap on the part of this one's wife. Accordingly, more wine is available. As I've pointed out before, we haven't been provided with any sales figures in relation to this wine. We've seen that some of it has been sent out in special boxes, signalling to the proles that they're not that important, and everybody else was forced to buy at least 3 bottles, which came with an egg carton and some tissue paper. Professional reviews of the wine haven't been particularly favourable, but this one's wife is trying to convince you that lots of people have been purchasing it with the incessant stream of publications on the Instagram account. Naturally, an attempt to assert control over the audience by telling them, look, people are buying the wine. As I mentioned separately, the suggestion was that part of the nail in the coffin of her Netflix deal was that the wine was not selling particularly well, and therefore it makes sense that the repeated images of people showing glasses of the wine and bottles of the wine and opening up the package that they've received is an attempt to nullify that threat to control. But we have another release. The world's worst businesswoman, who operates a site that doesn't have product available on a regular basis, but rather keeps doing drops, has once again harnessed the producer of the wine, but this time with a new vintage. What's actually going on with all of this? Well, it would appear that absent other opportunities, this one's wife remains in the belief that as ever is a viable brand. Now, when she does these drops, it of course serves her narcissism because it allows her to tell the world, here's something about me. And it gets placed on her Instagram, and because people, for a variety of reasons, remain interested in what she's doing, whether it's supporting her or whether it's denigrating her, the fact is, the press know that people are going to read and people are going to click, which means she isn't going to go away. Therefore, she also knows that when she puts something on Instagram, it's more than likely going to be picked up across the press and across other forms of social media because people want to comment about it, be it good or be it bad. Remember the mantra of the narcissist: love me, hate me, but never ignore me. Since so many people still want to know about this one's wife, it means that they will comment upon it, they will read the articles, and therefore what this all means is that she's asserting control over the audience, the viewership, and receiving fuel by way of people's responses. It essentially keeps her relevant. She needs to stay relevant because relevancy in her world equates to the provision of fuel. It allows her, in effect, to exist. Whilst she's gone fairly quiet, more about that separately, the fact is that she needs to foreshadow the release of more wine. Ordinarily, this could be seen as future faking, the utilisation of the future to control the now. But it is likely that there will be the delivery of this wine on this particular occasion, although how much of it remains to be seen. There is little transparency with this one's wife's business, other than the firm view that it is a Potemkin business, designed not to provide proper logistics and supplies of the products on a regular and ongoing business by running the business properly, like most businesses are run, but instead periodically flogging stuff because she wants to get somebody's eye who'll turn around and say, you know what, she sold out of wine again. I'm going to pump millions into this business. Of course, the dimwit that she is, she fails to understand that any potential purchaser or investor, although she's really looking for a purchaser, is going to do their due diligence. And the first question will be, let me see the data with regard to the sales that you've effected, but also let me see the data with regard to the number of inquiries that you've had to purchase these products, because it's clear that you've been utilising limited runs by way of scarcity. And the information which you'll have to provide to anybody who's got any brains, and they must have brains if they've made millions, will mean that they'll look at it and they'll go, this is piss poor, I'm not interested. You're wanting millions off me for something that doesn't attract actual genuine inquiries, or very few of them. But of course, that goes straight over the head of this one's wife, because she's got the business acumen of a soggy scone. The fact is, we've seen this as a consequence of her execrable series, Confessions of a Female Founder. And yet again, demonstrating the indefatigable spirit of this particular narcissist, she announces that there's yet more wine that can be purchased because she still maintains that as ever is a viable sale. She's not going to run it as a proper business. She doesn't know how. She hasn't got the investment and she hasn't got the ability. It's a plaything in order, driven by her narcissism, to assert control, to draw fuel, to gain residual benefits. She won't be making any money off the back of this. What she's trying to do is keep its profile up, showing that it's really popular, with the expectation in her deluded mind that somebody will come along and buy it off her. She doesn't grasp that nobody will, because it's useless. But she persists because her narcissism tells her, as always, that she is brilliant at these things, and anybody with any sense is bound to want to buy it. Why? Because it's associated with her. And hence, there's another undoubtedly limited drop coming, all part of this attempt to try and sell as ever. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.